Anyways, guys, sorry guys for that cringe annuity of a weird ass intro. Today we have an episode review. Not finally, but finally for this episode. Attack of the Mutant. I wanted to cover this one like back in November, not gonna lie. Literally November last year. I was like, that was the month I planned it, but now it's this but then after that, like December, I forgot about it. That was before I did like, I have to schedule stuff. Before I got smart and a big brain move. Like, I'm scheduling all my shorts. Like, I scheduled the months prior to when the months hit, of course. So, I'm already scheduled on October, so, yeah. And, honestly, I'm pretty excited for this episode review. Wanting to cover this one for a while, like I said, I haven't got to it. And anyways, yeah. Next episode review. Welcome to Camp Nightmare, if I decide to. Anyways, guys. This is a very simple one. I don't think there's too much going for this episode. There's just not too much to cover. It's a two-parter, so surprisingly, it's not too complex story. It is entertaining. I think I might have been a little harsh on it back in the day. I did top 3 worst Goosebumps episodes of all time, and I put it in, like, number 2 spot, like, no. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't, now thinking about that, I'm like, that doesn't deserve that. So I'm very happy when I went back and, recently, which I have done, which is ranking every single Goosebumps episode ever made, including, like, part 1 and part 2. I'm ranking them, like, separately, too. So, yeah, like, part 2 could come before part 1. Like, I think the bottom tier is One Day at Horrorland part 2. I'm not quite sure. If there's any background noise coming from over there, guys, don't mind that. That is just someone taking a shower. My room is right next to the bathroom, so I kind of have to deal with it. It's no biggie. I think it's my dad. Anyways, guys, let's just get straight into this now. No more announcements, right? Yep, we're good. Okay. Besides the fact, my birthday's coming up soon, guys. Ooh, Goosebumps haul. Anyways, let's go. So, Skipper, our main character. I think we all know Skipper. He's, like, iconic. He's an iconic Goosebumps character. In my eyes, he's one of the, like, the top 10 best Goosebumps heroes, or coolest, or most memorable Goosebumps heroes. Like, memorable. Like, memorable in the sense of, like, Evan Ross and Carly Beth. They return, but what if it's just a one-time book? I'd say, like, Attack the Mutant. Skipper, of course. Skipper, obviously. But shut up about Skipper being iconic, in my opinion. I might do that. If this video gets one whole like, I will schedule that for, like, October or something. Like, top 10 Goosebumps heroes. For my main characters of Goosebumps books that are super memorable. Like, super memorable main characters. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot. There's quite a few. Not just from sequels. I'm talking about, like, single books. Anyways. Now, let's actually start this episode review. So, Skipper is laying on his bed reading a comic book. It is Attack the Mutant, the Galloping Gazelle. It's just another random issue of that. Issue as in, like, number of book, whatever. Anyways, his mom comes in. Does a bit of complaining. His dad comes in, complains more. The mom is like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Just, listen to your dad. The dad's like, you shouldn't be doing that. That's like a Dave. A Dave and a Karen. He's a Dave. The mom is just a sweetheart. Not gonna lie. Anyways, they look like they're in like their mid-40s, early 40s, maybe late 20s. They're actually very young, not gonna lie. Very young couple. Anyways, Skipper's dad and sort of mom are yelling at him, and he doesn't mind. He didn't give a shit about what they say. They're saying that he shouldn't read comic books that often. Anyways, he doesn't listen to him, of course. Next day, he's at school with his friend. It was lunchtime. We only see lunchtime scenes. They eat outside. I mean, I don't eat outside, but okay. Maybe back in the day you guys did. I don't know. Anyways, He's talking to his friend. He's like a nerd. He likes rocks. I collect Goosebumps. He collects rocks. Skipper collects comic books with Mass Mutant. I mean, if they existed, I would buy them because, well, no shit, I'd buy them. I'd read every single one of them. But you know what? They don't exist. They made a Goosebumps comic book series, but they didn't make a, Attack a Mutant. Spell that because it's opportunity. Anyways. Still a little pissed about that. Anyways, sorry. He's talking to his nerdy friend who collects rocks, and, I don't think that's seen as much significance besides you can see the mutant watching it from the bushes, so, Skipper says he feels like he's being watched. Anyways, later on that day when he's on the bus to, like, an appointment with his therapist or something, therapist. I hate my life. I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know. Anyways, he's on the bus to go somewhere. We see the Mass Mutant land on the bus, and I don't know why they added that. Like, is that supposed to be there? Because it just feels so random, like, oh, so he's real. We just know that the whole episode now. I mean, they have a whole costume. They ain't just gonna use it for that one little shot. Anyways, he's on the bus, and he meets a girl named Lily, if I'm not mistaken. No, that name definitely wasn't Lily. Sorry. She just reminded me of My Harry's Adventure, which I haven't even covered on this channel now that I realized it. That one's definitely coming in September. Well, actually, it has to come in September. The last episode review this month is only going to come Nightmare, and then next month we have Werewolf Skin and whatever episodes we have not covered besides the Haunted Mask 2 and Haunted Mask 2. Anyways, he meets a girl on the bus, and she likes High School Harry and Beanhead. Like, really? That's some stupid shit. I don't know what the fuck that is, if that even is real, or they just made it up. But that is some bullshit. Anyways, the girl just roasts him for liking Mass Mutant stuff, And anyways, when he gets off the bus, he turns the corner, and then he just sees the Mass Mutant headquarters. And he is genuinely shocked. Super duper shocked. He's just completely confused. So, yeah, that's just something you might be going crazy. Anyways, later that night, he's kind of awake. No, he's not kind of awake. He's staying awake that night. He's in his bed. But his dad comes in, like, oh no, you staying up reading comic books? Well, no, he's not reading comic books. He's reading algebra, and he pulls over the blankets. So he probably was doing some stubber stuff down there, if you know what I mean, guys, and maybe gals. What the fuck you looking at? Anyways, distant farted. Anyways, his dad comes in. And he sees him reading algebra. So, he's kind of happy about that. But then when he leaves the room, of course, Skipper just pulls out his comic book, which is in the algebra book. And he's looking at the Mass Mutant headquarters, of course. So, next day, he's talking to his friend again. He's like, I saw it. And his friend's like, I don't believe you. So, he goes back there to meet his therapist again, of course. Whatever. Therapist. I mean, we might hear that again. Totally. Anyways. I don't know if he's meeting his therapist again. I doubt it. And anyways, he goes back there. I skipped the scene. His friend wasn't there the next day. I meant to say that he didn't go to his friend like, oh, I saw the Mass Mutant headquarters every day. No, his friend came to him in his house at home. Sorry, guys. It was the other way around, and he was trying to make up every fucking excuse in the book that Skipper is crazy. The book of Mass Mutant. And, of course, Skipper seems to be crazy when he goes back there the next day, and it's not there at all. But, of course, when he comes back home, believe it or not, there's a good explanation. Invisibility curtain. He reads the next issue, and apparently there's an invisibility curtain. Skip over the stupid lunch scene again. It's just him to explain to his friend, like, oh, there's an invisibility curtain. Like, totally there. And him just denying it. Anyways, So he goes back there the next day, Skipper does, and he meets the girl the girl meets him up there, scares the shell of him, saying, "Attack the mutant!" I mean, the episode, of course, referencing the name. Clearly no shit, Alex. And, he's like, "Oh, look, come on, girl. I'm gonna show you that there's a mass mutant headquarters right there." So they walk through the invisible curtain, and then they're like, okay. So they just walk in the building, go down the elevator, no questions. They're just like, whoa. Let's go down the elevator. Whoa, we're in the basement. Whoa, we're fucking fucked. And, Skipper goes off in the basement. The girl goes in another direction, trying to find some stairs. And Skipper finds this weird, like, white room. It's completely white. He finds some sketches. And they're, like, sketches of the mutant, Galloping Gazelle, and comic book characters. Like, comic book character sketches and scenes. And eventually, after scrolling, he sees him in there. Skipper is on the comic book sketches. And all of a sudden, while he's reading them, he gets spooked by the masked mutant that pops out behind him. It's just Lily, of course, or whatever the fuck her name is. I'm using Lily as a primary name because I think, I'm not mistaken, that's like the same girl who does Lily and Harry's Adventure. My Harry's Adventure. I don't know, they look similar. That's what she reminds me of, okay? Anyways, just Lily, and she says she found some stairs, so they leave. Yeah. That's the end of the episode. See you guys in the next one. Bye. Anyways, sorry. He goes home, and, next comic book arrives. There's a special edition. Well, actually, it's the next day. And, believe it or not, he's in it. And it's called A New Foe for the Mutants. So, he's like, okay, this is weird. This is getting a little out of hand. And, he's totally shocked. He's totally shocked. It's not the next day. It's later that night. And anyways, at the end of the book, it states that, you know, Galloping Gazelle is in the basement of that place, and he's trapped, and he needs help. It's PS, we're on the second episode now. And, yeah, it doesn't really work out. It doesn't really work out if he's not there. He's kind of gonna die, so Skipper rushes out of the house, and he goes towards back there for the bus, and, the bus driver, when he's being dropped off at the place, it's, like, pitch black outside, it's, like, midnight. That's we're at the 12-minute, 25-second mark, so it's, like, midnight. Technically. I'm not gay. I'm straight as fuck. Anyways, the bus driver warns him to be very careful out there, and, of course, when Skipper walks away, it's actually the masked mutant in disguise. So he goes up to the invisibility curtain. He gets in the building. He goes down the stairs or whatever, and he goes and finds the Galloping Gazelle tied up. I think it's a guy. Let's play by a dude to play Batman, but I'm not into like DC Marvel stuff, so I don't really know anything about Batman and Iron Man and Hulk or whatever y'all like. I'm not that guy. I'm a Goosebumps guy. I know a lot more about Back to the Future than I know Marvel, believe it or not. Because I just actually recently watched Back to the Future. 10 out of 10, besides the third one. Third one's like a 7 out of 10. Like, it's a good movie. Not the goodest. Anyways. He ties the Galloping Gazelle. And they try to get out of there. And they end up in, like, another part of the basement. This is, like, the waterworks area. Like, I really like this setting. This is really cool. And, they're like, okay, let's just lay it here. They're on this, like, little patio or whatever. Anyways, the masked mutant is actually a chair in disguise that the Galloping Gazelle sits on. He gets tangled up, but then he's like, okay, I'm gonna do a tornado spin. He tornado spins his ass out of the room after, he gets roasted by the masked mutant saying, you're too old for that shit, dude. And, yeah, he takes his advice and he just leaves Skipper there to die. But Skipper, being the smart person he is, makes a distraction. Look, the Swan Girl or some shit. And then the girl comes in the room through the door that the Galloping Gazelle left. And, Masked Mutant's gone. And then the girl just turns into Masked Mutant. Believe it or not. Holy shit, what the fuck is going on? And then, we have this whole fight scene. Well, it's not a fight scene. Anyways, the Masked Mutant is trying to explain to Skipper that he's a comic book character. And Skipper's denying it, but then he just finally accepts it. He's like, you know what? I'm Elastic Boy. And then he tricks the Masked Mutant into turning into sulfuric acid. And he can't turn it. That's Elastic Boy's weakness, but that's also the Masked Mutant can't turn into liquid, okay? Anyways, the ending is he is the Elastic Boy in real life, and his mom finds out. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode review. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!